have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trump doesn't even realize it is very hard for educated people and even folks who ain't educated to listen to his dumb ass making us look stupid. This interview with him on 60 Minutes was it was drab. But because I take the bullet for you guys so that we can learn to do better, I've got clips of it. And let me just give you my early thoughts on it from watching it, and I can't wait to hear what you guys got to say. Trump goes on and on and on about several points. And one point I wanted to make, did anyone bother to tell him that he has more felonies than the people he claims to be deporting? That's something I want to know. You're going to hear him in this video say, "I'm not a Nazi." Where have we heard that before, ladies and gentlemen? Anytime we hear a white person say, "I'm not a racist," what does that mean? It usually means you are a racist. Here's another one that I was thinking about when I was listening to this. Dude is nothing but a liar, and I've got some receipts to prove it. Anything he touches, he destroys. It's like a bull in a china shop. Except for when he finished destroying everything, will the Democrats have the kind of guts to fix the things he destroyed? Y'all remember President Nixon? President Nixon had a famous quote, "I'm not a crook." Turned out he was a crook. Now Trump is saying, "I'm not a Nazi." What does that make you think he is? And last point, he's going to talk a lot about the media and the fake media. And it should be a shame that 60 Minutes has stooped this low to bend over backwards to let him get away with some of the stuff he says in this interview. And if you guys don't know, they're under new management, Republican MAGA management, which is why this thing was just atrocious. Let's go ahead and get into some more of what this buffoon had to say. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you catch me on TikTok, subscribe. Please come over and subscribe to me on YouTube at Politics of Being Black. There is an Instagram too, Politics of Being Black in America. Catch me on all those. Let's hear some more of what he had to say.
It's a lot of the rhetoric. Look, they call me a Nazi all the time. I'm not a Nazi. I'm the opposite. I'm somebody that's saving our country. But they call me Nazi. They have talking points, you know? They have just talking points. And the press is largely responsible for it. The fake news, what they've done.
So this was a clip where he's talking about the press is responsible for his bad name and Democrats and talking points. Ladies and gentlemen, who has more talking points than the Republican Party? The word MAGA is a talking point. A talking point is something that usually doesn't have a lot of substance. And the reason Republicans have to talk like that to their followers is because their followers are not that great of critical thinkers. They need simplicity, make America great again, deport the immigrants, stuff like that. The way Trump talks, that's what resonates to the people that voted for him. But you would think that after this last time, more people would have seen the light. And to continue to blame the press is just ridiculous when the press right now is peppered with every major outlet bending the knee to Trump as if this is Game of Thrones and he's Khaleesi on a dragon. Only I would say a lot of y'all would like to see that dragon do something to him, but he's acting as if the media is swayed toward the liberal perspective. It is not right now. And let us not even talk about social media and how that is predominantly right wing, because all the social media platforms that are currently on right now all went and had dinner with Trump and is just trying to get all the favors they can. Let's go to the next clip.
Have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in a Chicago residential neighborhood, and the smashing of car windows. Have some of these raids gone too far?
No, I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out. You know, you have to look at the people. Many of them are murderers. Many of them are people that were thrown out of their countries because they were, criminals.
Well, you promised in your campaign that you were going to deport the worst of the worst, violent criminals,
we're doing that.
rapists.
Well, that's what we're
But
doing.
a lot of the people that your administration has arrested and deported aren't violent criminals. Landscapers, nannies, construction workers,
Landscapers
farm
who are criminals.
workers.
Yeah. Now, look,
So when here he's complaining about judges preventing him from getting things done. And ladies and gentlemen, let's break this down. He said that there's a bunch of Biden judges stopping him. Biden put in 235 federal judges. You want to know how many Trump has put in? 251. So there are greater chances you're going to wind up going to a Republican judge versus a Democratic judge. And even they have been telling him that he's going too far. When it comes down to deporting people, this man is not just deporting quote unquote ardent criminals. A lot of the people, as you just seen in this video clip, he's been deporting are citizens. They're mothers. They are everyday citizens that might look like they're from another nation, and they're being harassed, intimidated, and he's putting all this on full display for people to see because there are MAGA folks that love seeing this. It just gives them a hard on like Ron Jeremy, and they just keep on spoon feeding it every single day. But we have got to stay vigilant and understand that there can be a better day. And that better day is about to start tomorrow when this election happens with Mondani, which brings me to the last talking point for Trump that he did on 60 Minutes that I think ties to Mondani. Take a listen to this.
Well, speaking to American troops in Japan, you talked about U.S. cities that are having trouble with crime. And you said, if we need more than the National Guard, we'll send more than the National Guard. What does that mean, send more than the National Guard?
well, if you had to send in the Army or if you had to send in the Marines, I'd do that in a heartbeat. You have a thing called the Insurrection Act. You know that, right? Do you know that I could use that immediately, and no judge can even challenge you on that. But I haven't chosen to do it because I haven't felt we need it.
So you're going to send the military into American cities?
Well, if I wanted to, I could, if I wanted to use the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act has been used routinely by presidents, and if I needed it, that would mean I could bring in the Army, the Marines, I could bring in whoever I want. But I haven't chosen to use it. I hope you give me credit for that.
He talks about sending the military to blue cities. The first city that came to my mind was New York, because they are getting ready to elect a fantastic person in Zoran Mondani. And you can cool believe that as to send a message to progressives, people that are thinking about jumping off the MAGA train, he will be sending military to New York. And I hope Mondani pulls an act like Chicago did where you can now arrest ICE agents in Chicago. And I'm about sure Mondani will do that because at the end of the day, his citizens need to know that they don't have to worry about being harassed by the military or ICE. And I think Mondani is going to stand on business and fight this shit tooth and nail the same way he's come in and have swept New York by looking at these polls numbers. These polls numbers that say Mondani is going to landslide win by 90 some odd points, ladies and gentlemen. That is why Trump is right now talking about using the Insurrection Act. And did you hear his ass talking about, can he get credit for not doing it? No, you buffoon. You don't get credit for doing the right thing. That's the problem in America right now. Doing the right thing is supposed to be easy and free. You get credit when you go above and beyond. And as of right now, you're not getting no credit because you've gone below and below further to send people to get harassed by ICE. And in terms of him talking about the judges can't do anything to stop him, that's not necessarily true. The judges could intervene if they feel like his invocation was unlawful or he was pressured by foreign adversaries or their actions causing violation of rights. But what have we seen with this Supreme Court? They don't give a damn about nothing but Trump's agenda. So Supreme Court wouldn't help us. It would come down to the lower court judges to step in and say that no, Trump, you're not going to do this shit. So ladies and gentlemen, post me all your comments. Let me know what you think. Are you tired of seeing this man on TV? I know I am. And I'm tired of the embarrassment that has been Trump and the MAGA party. Please be sure to subscribe to me wherever you're finding me, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Check me out. And until that next sexy as hell politics of being black video, trying to decipher things, I'll see you.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.